Hey, Astro Baddies and Daddies. This is Wine Astrology, the podcast for the witchy and the bitchy. Hello, Astro Baddies and Daddies. This is Wine Astrology, the podcast for the witchy and the bitchy. I'm your host, Nicole.
And I'm Luini. And today we are being joined by a very special guest who is coming in live from Brooklyn. You may know her as Agent of Pluto or as the Pop Astrologist. We have Tasha in the studio with us. Tasha, how are you?
Thank you for having me. I am doing my best is the best way I can put it in eclipse season right now.
Honestly, fair enough. Like,
how are you both?
Too real.
I'm just taking it one day at a time because honestly, it feels so hectic. Like every day, it just feels so chaotic. And the trick is to just try to be like nonchalant about it. I'm like, fuck it. Like there's like nothing that I can do. I'm like, whatever. I'm like water. I'm just gonna just fucking just deal with it, just flow with it. Yeah, because I'm like so sick and tired of being on the edge all the time. So now my motto is like, okay, whatever comes at me, I'm fine. Whatever. I'm just gonna let it go.
Honestly, this is going to sound crazy coming from me, of all people, because I'm always in the throes of an impending crash out. But I'm great.
Oh my God, I love that for you.
I'm so good. I'm so good. Like, I'm so zen. Things have been hectic. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, everything's going great. No, things have actually been crazy. And somehow through it all, I'm thriving. I have such a sense of like inner peace right now that I'm just like, okay, like everything is falling apart around me, but I'm still that girl. And like everything is falling apart around me, but nothing really is affecting me. So I'm great.
As long as you're not falling apart.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm good. I'm watching the impending chaos and destruction around me. And I'm just like, wow. Sucks for them.
Classic. Although to be fair, if you are listening and your life is falling apart and, you know, you might be wondering like, what the heck is going on? I'm always like, listen, the eclipses are so magical because like our ego is so limited, you know, like we think we know what we want. We think we're happy. We think we're all those things. And then the eclipses say, nah, bitch, you are mistaken. Or it can actually help accelerate you, right? But if your life is falling apart, it's like, okay, we're getting a redo. We're getting a clean slate. It might be difficult right now, but it is going to be a lot better for you in the long run.
We need that energy. Yeah, just being positive, really, and just like taking it one day at a time. That's all you can really do.
Absolutely. And my Sag Moon agrees.
That was your lesson, yeah?
Yeah, that was my lesson last season. Honestly, I tend to do well during Virgo season. You know, my planets are literally, well, Mars is still in my 7th house, but planets are flowing through my 5th, 6th, and 7th houses. They're kind of highlighting good things that I love. Like Jupiter is still in my 5th house right now, so I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah, like astrologically speaking, my transits are good. It is a mess. Amazing. Though. I'm not undermining anyone's experience because I know that people go through it right now. I'm just saying, like, where I'm standing, things are great.
Yeah. I feel like that's an important message, though. You know, like I hear more crash outs than like things are going great. So I think that's an important message to send out to like, you can still be thriving. It can be chaotic. I'm curious, like, if Uranus is aspecting anything for you in your chart, or like where that Uranus is, you know, natally for you. Is it Cap?
For me, it's actually in the 4th house of all places, and it is kind of transiting my Mercury right now. So nothing's really changed. My house is a mess, honestly, because I hate the way everything looks. I'm trying to upgrade little things at a time because I also am trying to save money, but I'm just like, want a new carpet, want a new lamp, but like I want to hang up pictures and do all this stuff. So I'm redecorating, and in the midst of that, kind of like out with the old and with the new, kind of transferring new energy into my place. And it's also on my Jupiter right now. So, I mean, not my Jupiter, my Mercury, which my astrologer said, yeah, like you're gonna meet a lot of dudes because I have my seventh house descendant is ruled by Mercury. She's like, you're gonna meet a lot of guys. Don't really put any stock into any of them, and I'm just like, noted. So that's where I'm at.
Don't put any stock into any of them.
Yeah, she's like, I don't see anything serious for real until like 2027, 2028, but you're gonna meet a lot of them. So just like know what category they go into. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Because I'm very much like, oh my God, is this my husband?
Well,
Libra
I like
seventh
Virgo
house.
season. I like Virgo season because, like, I don't know. I just feel like people always get depressed because, like, summer's done and now that it's fall. But I always feel like no matter what, Virgo season is the one season where I always get my shit together, where I'm like, okay, we're fucking doing the scheduling, we're organizing. Like, I feel like I do like this reset on my life. I feel like all of a sudden I just want to buckle down and just be like, okay, we're going to get into a routine and like we're going to be a little bit more healthier and like we're going to set our alarm and wake up every day. And it's just like at a specific time. And it's just like, I don't know, there's something about Virgo season where I'm like, I feel so responsible. I just want to get my shit together. So
it is peak, like, gather yourself season, I will say.
yes, absolutely.
Where is Virgo in your chart? Remind me.
Mine is in the seventh house.
Ah, okay.
See,
That's
it's so
cool.
funny because Nicole and I have the same descendant. Wait, no, your Virgo isn't in the seventh house.
It's in the eighth house.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say.
I was like, what's your
Guys,
rising
I'm so
sign? Yeah.
sorry. I'm right after this episode. I'm catching a flight. I'm going to go on a little vacation. I'm
my God,
visiting,
amazing.
and then also my dishwasher's going off in the back. So if you hear a beeping, I'm so sorry.
I'll try to edit it out.
Yeah, and then so there's the beeping going out in the back that's like driving me crazy. And then right after this episode, I am flying to Trinidad to go see my family. So me, my sister, and my dad are flying out. And
Amazing.
I'm going to be in a beach in 24 hours. So I'm so excited for that.
How perfect. Oh my
And you should
God.
see my apartment right now. I'm so sorry, Winnie. Like, there's suitcases and there's clothes and there's shit everywhere. Like, I literally still have to pack, and my flight is like after this. So,
Oh my God.
At least you're packing. Like, what's my excuse? My apartment's a mess for no reason.
It's organized chaos. You know where things are. It's just
I
not
do.
maybe the most aesthetically pleasing, but you know where they are. Both
No,
of
it's
you.
driving me nuts. When I was working on my episode notes, I just kept like catching glimpses of chores out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh shit. So that's gonna be my plan for tonight.
amazing.
Cleaning. Very Virgo.
Yes, I was about to say, very Virgo of you. We love that for you.
Yes. I was actually going to say, do you both? I had this question posed to me recently on another podcast. Like, do you consider summer, over at the end of August, or are you like hardcore, the equinox is when summer is over, which would then technically mean Virgo is still in the summer?
Oh, honestly, like I would say the end of August, because as much as like I know the weather can still be warm in September, I don't know. There's just like September first hits, and I swear, like the air changes, like
Yeah.
everything. Like if you feel a shift in the energy,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter how like nice and warm and sunny it is. I'm like, no, it's September, and just the energy is different, and everybody's operating differently too a little bit. So for me, like September is gonna be fall. It's gonna be fall.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I feel like also because we're in Canada, Nicole's totally right. Like you can feel a change in the air. Even the warm days still have a bit of a crisp quality to the air about them that aren't there in the earlier parts of the summer. Also, the atmosphere and energy is different during Virgo season. Like, I'm sorry, you go from the highs of Leo season to like kind of this buzzkill, like, okay, like it's time for us to like overhaul and lock in for Virgo season. So I'm just like, okay, like as soon as September hits, I'm like, okay, summer's done. Everybody got your shit together. Like, here we go then.
I love that. Okay.
Are you like a strict equinox person?
I used to be, before I guess I found astrology and dedicated my life to it. I used to very much be a Labor Day person. Like, yep, we're done, just because of the corporate life and everything.
Yes.
But then when I transitioned out of corporate into this, it it was kind of nice to reorient time the way I would have been accustomed to thinking about it. And so now it kind of gives me, oh, wow, like summer feels prolonged. Like it kind of shifts my rhythms. So I'm almost like disassociated or like disentangling from the matrix, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
But I love
sense.
the sun. But I love the sun. I have Jupiter on my
Yes, we all
midheaven.
do.
So, you know, in Leo.
Damn. So, okay, Tasha, first thing we ask our guests, obviously, is to share their big three with our listeners. So,
Mhm.
what are your sun, moon, and rising?
I am a Cancer sun, Scorpio rising, and a Sagittarius moon.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, so basically, people better not try their luck lying to you ever.
Yes, but also I don't know. So I think I'm learning how to be a Scorpio in this lifetime is how I kind of conceptualize it because I feel like I'm too nice sometimes. I'm like too like open, which is so not Scorpio oriented, but I guess I don't really give a whole lot of information away. Like I'm always more curious and inquisitive about other people, and I like genuinely want to help other people. So it does become a one-way street and not intentionally. Not intentionally.
Honestly, I feel like that's very Scorpio, though. I don't know why everyone thinks Scorpio is this like brooding, stoic. Most Scorpios I know are actually pretty personable and sociable. They
Mhm.
don't give anything away. People don't know much
Mhm.
about their personal life and experiences, but they're pretty bubbly people. I find that Capricorns are the emo ones, no offense.
Totally.
Me.
Totally.
Capricorns are the ones that, like, Capricorn is probably what you think a Scorpio is based on, like, astrological stereotypes, in my opinion.
I totally agree. New York is actually a Capricorn sun. So when you think about like the aesthetic of New York, it's like all black, right? Like
Yes.
Mm.
so that's very on the nose.
All black, everyone minds their business,
Everyone
everyone's
looks angry.
grinding, like,
Yes.
Yep.
yeah, that's very Cap energy. I did not know New York was a Capricorn.
I was actually going to say New York has like the most F boy chart. You know what I mean? Because it is a
Again.
Capricorn sun, Libra rising with Jupiter in Libra on the ascendant and an Aries moon in the seventh house.
Oh
Like
my
that
god.
is, do you know what I mean? Like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That is a debased chart.
Yeah.
unhinged. It explains why dating is so terrible in New York City for a lot of
I mean,
people.
we
Oh.
should look up Toronto's chart because it's
You
probably on
should.
the same type of vibe because it's not any better here, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You can defo tell a lot about a country based on the chart, by the way. So, like, because obviously I was watching Love Island this season.
Girl, me
Obviously,
too. We're gonna
but
spill the
we,
tea.
we're
Oh,
Nicole's
gonna.
like,
I'm not into Love Island at all. But I saw on your YouTube channel because I want to say, I'm like, guys, Tasha has a YouTube channel,
that you should
and
also
I saw that you
watch.
have an episode of the Love Island, and then I was like, I bet when you would eat this up.
I
So
Oh my
did.
gosh! Yeah, I have two recaps out. I had one for Love Island USA, and then I had one for the reunion with Neha, who's an amazing astrologer as well. Her books are open for September, but you know, when I think about Love Island, just to compare UK US, like the UK is a Capricorn and the US is a Cancer. The idea of like Americans being like over emotional and Capricorns like not necessarily like being a little more stoic and like very thin lipped, right? Like you just already see the stereotype
Yeah,
between both countries come out.
I love that. I didn't watch UK. My sister's the one who put me on to Love Island in the first place, and
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
really?
because
I
I've
was not
never,
expecting
and
that.
my sister is a Capricorn, so that's funny. Um, but I've never really watched reality TV because
Mhm.
I'm tired all the time. Like all of you, what is it? Iron deficient ladies, and your fatigue.
Yeah.
I'm with you in the struggle. So whenever I do watch stuff, I have to be really, really into what I'm watching because I
Mhm.
have like an hour max of time a day before I'm in bed watching something and I pass out. So she convinced me. And I liked Love Island because it felt really like something you could watch in the background and still, through context clues, know what the hell is going on without having to
Yeah.
think much about it. And then I got obsessed with this season, and I was actually looking at everybody's charts and how they moved and all of this stuff. Like, Tasha, let me see if you noticed this.
Okay.
Did you notice that every person who was accused of being a game player or someone who was trying to game the system or be a politician in the villa had a prominent planetary placement in Libra? Ace had that.
Yes, he has a Venus. Ace is a Venus in Libra, but Ace also has a Leo
Libra.
stellium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Demonic. No, I don't know. I really don't like when Leo and Libra energy mix in a chart. It's never rubbed me well. Like, it never works for some reason.
Interesting. I feel like that's a very like, I would imagine that to be like a very celeb chart, or like people having that on reality TV or something. I'm trying to like go through my mental Rolodex of people with Leo and Libra. I mean, I feel like Martha Stewart, no, she's a Scorpio, but no, she has got a powerful she's a Leo sun, and then she also has I think Neptune in Libra, but it was like something that was really definitive because her whole brand is aesthetic. Basically.
Oh my God, I love Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
really?
same.
I watched her documentary on Netflix.
Oh,
it's so good.
Everybody
it's
has
so
a
good
documentary now. Every
She
celeb.
deserves one.
Okay.
Her story's sick. I actually did an episode about that episode too on the YouTube channel. Yeah, I do a lot of pop culture deep dives. I am, again, Jupiter in Leo on my midheaven. I once applied for a job, like, to write astrology, like natal chart entertainment breakdowns, and in like the not qualifications, in the email, I was basically like, so since we're all astrologers, I have Mercury and Jupiter in Leo conjunct my midheaven. I think I would be great for this job.
Here's my birth chart. Hire me.
I love how you're able to literally say that to a group of people who will understand what you're talking about and be like, oh my God, like, we need her.
Yeah,
totally. I feel like pop culture is such a weird space because it's popular culture, yet it's so hated on, and so when someone, I think, like, is always like, oh, you're doing pop culture, and you can tell like they're trying to be nice, but like really they're like, oh, that's an interesting choice, and then they like see my chart and they see the Leo and they're like, yes, this makes all the sense in the world. You should be doing this.
This is exactly what she was meant to do.
Correct.
Which segues into what we were going to be talking about in this episode. Because,
yes.
Honestly, Tasha, I feel like I could talk to you forever, which is a great quality to have.
Likewise.
But we're going to be talking about the midheaven and the 10th house in today's episode. So Nicole and I told you guys last week, this season we're going to be really focusing on diving into birth charts, talking about the energy in each of the houses, what that could mean for you, how to better utilize your birth chart to get what you want. This episode, we're talking about the 10th house and the midheaven. And disclaimer, I learned the hard way that your midheaven point is not always on your 10th house cusp. So we're going to chat about that, but also, what does the 10th house symbolize in astrology? So if you're a newbie, you're just learning how to read a birth chart and are kind of intimidated, that's what we're here for. The 10th house basically is the house in your birth chart that lords over, we should say, your career, profession, and your public image, your reputation, how others perceive you. But it's in a different way than your ascendant and your first house, okay? Because this specifically has to do with your public image as it pertains to the general public, whereas your ascendant has more to do with how people interact with you and perceive you one-on-one, interpersonally, okay? So what I really like talking about when we discuss the 10th house is the fact that a lot of people who are into astrology especially tend to look at this house when they are trying to assess a birth chart for a celebrity or a public figure, and see kind of how they made their way to the top, climbed their way or crawled their way or whatever, however you want to say it, into achieving the status and success that they achieved. And then one thing that I really love about the midheaven, which is not the 10th house, it simply is the highest point in the horizon when you are born. It does tend to be found mostly on the 10th house cusp in a lot of charts, but it also depends on the house system that you are using when you are assessing a birth chart or looking at it. So the highest point, it is on the horizon at 12 o'clock, so says Google. Like if you're looking at a clock, if you're looking at the birth chart in that way. And whatever the sign that is found on the midheaven also is really influential on everything that we just noticed, but whether or talked about, whether it's your vocation, whether it is the career path that you will take. So we're going to talk about all that, but I think we're getting kind of thirsty.
Oh my God, absolutely. I'm so excited to get into our poison today, what me and Winnie are going to be sipping and what Tasha's going to be getting into. So let's get into our wine. I'm really excited about this because I'm going to be honest, this wine it's very niche. It's actually it was hard for me to find some information on it. And you know what? I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I'm not overthinking things. I'm just going to fucking pop this bottle of wine and we're going to drink it and we're going to enjoy it and we'll figure it out from there. But first things first, this is from a winery called Ori Marani. And the name of it is Demain Ceylon. I think I said that right because it's French.
Demain Ceylon.
Oh, fuck off. I fucking since the first day of us recording this, I butcher every fucking wine name. It's so funny. Thank you, Winnie,
like
for saving
signature now.
No!
Okay, we're just all listening with bated breath, trying to see how Nicole's gonna pronounce something and if she's gonna get it right.
Oh my fucking God. I was like, yeah, I guess said this right. When he's like, yeah, no. But this is a Georgian wine. I've never had a wine from Georgia. Have you?
Nope. This is going to be my first. You're popping my Georgia cherry.
Yes. I'm so excited. It's from the region Kartli. I think I also fucking said that right. So anyways, yeah, this sounds like it's a very niche wine because this is from a grape variety that I think is not very common. I've never had this before. How did you say this? Because mine is
now you're trying to put on
Scav Capito. Scav Capito. Is that what you have?
That's what I put.
Okay, perfect.
Scav Capito.
Okay, but yeah, you say it with a better.
It's probably not even pronounced that way.
Yeah.
I'm not Georgian, so I don't know. And it's not like YouTube is putting Albanian and Georgian on their pronunciation channel.
Yes,
so.
Because I actually tried to find hear the pronunciation. They couldn't find it. And I said, okay, so
we're just gonna
fucking Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah,
literally.
And that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah. So yeah, again, there isn't really much about this wine. There's very little information other than it comes from a small winery in Georgia, and it was started by Bastian and his wife Nino. According to their website, the winery is still very new, so they don't have vineyards, but this grape variety does come from a small grower's family. The wine comes from a new vineyard, so apparently this was actually very difficult to harvest, this one. So they should be proud of themselves. I think this wine's going to taste great. It was planted in clay soil. So it was half of the grapes were destemmed, the other half was kept whole clusters. And then after 2 weeks of maceration, they pressed the wine and aged it in oak barrels for 9 months before bottling. So this is supposed to be like a light, fresh, and fruity wine. Other than that, there's not much for me to go on.
This is going to be a completely new experience.
Yes, and when you picked this wine, so I'm really curious, what was the inspiration for this? Was it just because the bottle's really pretty? That's okay too, to just say, honestly, gorgeous bottle, and I'm going to get it.
Honestly, yes. I went into the wine shop. I went to, if you're listening to this and you're from Toronto, I went to Paradise Grapevine on Bloor, and I really just knew that I wanted to pick a red wine because I figured I was like, we're going to talk about career and all of that. So I want a serious wine. And for some reason, red wine always strikes me as being serious. I don't know why. It's just
No, yeah,
in my
absolutely.
head, I think serious wine. So I went in and I asked the clerk who was working, who's also the bartender, because it's like a bottle shop / bar. Asked him for a suggestion for a red. I was like, okay, probably something fruity, not something super heavy. I'm not into tannins, but I want a red. And he showed me a bunch. This bottle stood out to me because I love the label. And
The label's so pretty.
We're going to post this on our Instagram like we always do. But the labels really struck me because it literally just looked like a painting. And I was thinking of 10th house, your public image, vocation, whatever. And I really struggled growing up until a couple of years ago with realizing that your job is not necessarily your vocation and vice versa. And I really liked the idea, and you can guess my midheaven from this. I really liked the idea of the label being like a work of art and being something that inspires you and is something that you work towards because that's what fulfills you. And I love people who kind of base what they do around their dreams. I'm super into art, anything creative. We're out here like gabbing on a podcast. So obviously expression is very important to me. And that is why I loved this label. And I thought that this one would be interesting for the podcast. It wasn't until after where I started looking it up, but I was like, oh God, how are we going to research this?
Yes. Oh my gosh, so niche. But anyways, yeah, this is the bottle, Tasha. It's super
It's
cute.
beautiful.
Isn't
it's cute.
it? Yes. So I am going to slowly take this wax off. I feel like it's going to take me a while. But how about you share with us?
Don't worry about the wax.
Yeah, you think I should just go straight for it?
Go straight in.
Okay. Tasha, do you want to...
Oh my gosh, what am I
consuming? Your poison is? What are we...
Yes.
Yes.
Well, for what it's worth, I have had Georgian wine, and I actually, but it was on the fruitier side. Yes. With the cheese boat, you got to have red wine in the dead of winter. So Georgian food is amazing. Their cheese boats, if you can get yourself to a restaurant and get the cheese boat, I can't remember the name for it at the top of my head right now, but it's like literally their national food. But that in the dead of winter is amazing. And they'll have like different flavors too. Like they'll have like savory ones and like sweeter ones for dessert. So it's almost like brie, but like creamier and just, it's a good meal. Can't complain.
I'm excited.
We need to try Georgian food.
Yes.
To pair it with that wine. But
should we use
Toronto? Oh, yes. And then next time I come, then we can all go.
Oh my God, yes, that'd be amazing.
Like 2 trips. Like we have to go to Brooklyn and you have to come here. And honestly, when we went to Brooklyn, we went in like October last time we were there anyway. So
that's a great time to go.
Yeah, I thought the weather was great too. Yes, I remember that. Okay,
Perfect
so I'm going to pop this wine. I hope that it is going to be a nice pop.
Amazing. Okay, let's see. I'm not popping any bottles on my end, but I am smoking a joint, which, it's been a second since I smoked a joint and done a podcast and like talked, astrology in a second, but I feel like this is going okay so far.
Yeah, this is a great combo we have going on.
You're giving me ideas, girl.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, to be fair, my favorite type of astrology is high astrology, and I feel like I have, I swear to God. So, as I said earlier, I do pop culture and deep dives on my YouTube channel, and I was doing research on Luigi Mangione, and literally when I was smoking, I got a hit, literally, to look up not Abraham Lincoln, the guy who shot Abraham Lincoln, his birth chart, John Wilkes Booth. There we go. To see if there.
Oswald. I was like, wait, wrong assassin.
Different one, John Wilkes Booth, and I was like, to see if there was a similarity, and it was actually kind of crazy that I almost have a little bit of a thesis that like Luigi Mangione could very well actually be a reincarnation, just because there were so many points that were hitting, and it was like, what are the chances, So, and the stories are very similar, even though the cause is very different. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. But anyway, yeah, I feel like when I smoke, sometimes I just get the most insane ideas that when I then go research, it's like, oh my God, that's actually
I
super
love that
cool.
though. The
Oh my
mind
god.
is expanding. I love
Absolutely.
anything that expands your consciousness.
All right.
Yes.
So I guess Tasha's gonna be hitting that joint.
Oh my
And
god, I
what are
can't
we pouring
wait.
up?
I can't wait to hear your epiphanies during this
Yes,
episode.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So I'm gonna pop this. Please be a good one. Yeah, that sounded so good. Did you already
That was
spark up,
sexy.
Tasha? Did you already spark
Oh,
up?
oh yes,
Okay, then,
yes.
because I was gonna be like, yeah, you can follow up with a spark up, but it's okay. She got a head start.
I will. Oh, I paused and I'll restart.
That's for
Thank
you.
you.
This color is so pretty. It's very different.
It is. Honestly, it almost looks like cranberry juice.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say it's like a garnet.
Cheers. And to you, Tasha.
Salud.
Yes.
We're smoking, we're drinking. It's a good time.
Very fruity.
Oh.
What do we think?
Oh my
I taste
god.
strawberries for sure.
Yes. Oh my god.
Honestly, it kind of tastes almost like an orange wine. It's a little bit
Mm.
funky.
I can't tell if that's a good thing for you or not.
No,
We
funky's good.
love
Yeah.
orange wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually had one last episode.
Yes. That was our
Mm.
last week we drank an orange wine. That was really good too.
Aroma for me, a little bit floral, honestly.
Floral and just red fruits for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's coming through.
Floral, raspberry notes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely sour cherry, which I read.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What were the notes that oh shit, I
You know
forgot.
what
I
it
lost them.
reminds me of? Like, imagine Swedish berries, but if they were not sweet. If there was like a sour version of Swedish berries, the candy.
That is what it is. There's a little bit of a sourness to it, to this wine, but it's really good. And it's super light. It doesn't feel heavy.
I did some research on the grape, which I dare not pronounce in case I butcher the name. But it did say that the wines that this grape produces could go either way, but typically they're lower ABV, very light bodied. But the grape expression kind of depends on the terroir. Terroir, yes, that's the word. So the higher elevation that the vines have, it'll give you the grape, the wine that's more like this, where it's a lot lighter
Mhm.
and a lot lighter bodied, a lot fruitier towards red fruits, and soil, not clay, will typically give you more of a jammy, plummy, dark fruit expression for the wine.
Mm.
So, interesting thing to know in case you're
Amazing.
going to have to drink a wine from Georgia with this grape varietal that I will
Yeah.
not pronounce.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. So obviously we'll be talking about the 10th house. I think Winnie did like a really great like rundown on it because like my notes are so like basic. It's just like, yeah, career, public image, social status, how we're perceived by society. And I think the house shows us our leadership and our professional path. And it just has an impact on our career choices and our goals, just overall our professional identity. I don't know. Is there anything that you want to add to that, Tasha?
Tasha told me cool stuff.
Oh,
So I'm
Ah.
spill it, spill
gonna
it. Give it to us.
Well, so a couple of things. One, yes, I think that's like the perfect comprehensive rundown. And then of course, you can kind of derive more meaning. So the first thing I kind of wanted to say was just to unpack like, you know, the 10th house is the most public, or the midheaven is the most public. It's facing part of your chart. It is the highest point in the chart. Noon is correct. It's like if you think about high noon, that's kind of, that symbolism, especially also if you let's say, are someone who might have been born at midnight, you would be at the bottom of the chart. So like you can kind of use time to actually even figure out where your placement is of your sun sign, which is kind of cool. But it can also really denote like social status, So I see this a lot with celebs when they're like hard launching a relationship, for example, where their relationship status is formally changing to the public. And this, how I describe to my clients sometimes or people who follow me, it's, a house that it's like, let's say you're Margot Robbie, right? Like you don't know Margot Robbie, but you know whether she's in a relationship with someone or what her next movie is. You know a lot about her life, but you don't like know who she is. And then the ascendant's kind of like, if you're meeting her, you get her vibes off the bat, so that's like a tangible way of approaching it. But the cool thing I told you was, I heard this a couple of years ago at a conference out in Borrego Springs by this astrologer at Astrowoke, I believe is the handle, Vanessa guy. She was doing a lecture on, well, basically the ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th houses. And she basically drew the parallels from A.T. Mann's work, that the 10th house can actually symbolize the condition of your mother's pregnancy. So
Oh.
a lot of traditional astrologers actually view the 10th house as mom, and the fourth house as dad. And then modern astrologers kind of view it the opposite. You can kind of view it as dad in the 10th because of the Capricorn associations, archetypally speaking. But to keep it on the safe side, the 10th can also be, which parent actually was more involved, noticeably involved in raising you from a public perception. It could be either dad or mom. So yeah, these are all the different things you can kind of noodle on. I think it's personally really cool to think about how your mom's, how like on some level, maybe, this is a high thought, right? Of course. But you might have already lived the life and you understand the playbook already in utero with your mom. And so you're just playing it out when you come out into the world.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, oh my god, hits blunt and is thinking.
Oh my Tips wine. Oh my god.
When I was doing the research, I came across stuff that, oh, by the way, Nicole has an amazing book that I basically took all of my notes from.
Oh, it's the one that you borrowed last week?
Yes.
Okay.
So it is called Horoscope Symbols, and it's by Robert Hand. And I know that there are a lot of really good astrology books that are out of print because they came out like in the late 60s, early 70s, where astrology was like getting really big and woo-woo things were becoming really mainstream when people are, getting into like the free love hippie movement of that time. So they are hard to find, but if you can get your hands on them, we really recommend. Nicole and I have a couple, just like stumbling across them in thrift stores and stuff.
Yeah.
Which helps a lot. But even if you do your book thrifting online, look for older books. Very comprehensive, still using layman's terms, and don't make you feel like you're reading a science textbook to explain astrological facts. But basically, what Robert Hand said is that whoever the most dominant parent, like Tasha said, or the parent that was most involved in like child rearing and shaping your values and giving you your value system as you were growing up, will be represented in the 10th house a lot of the time. I'm not sure who that was for you guys. For me, it was definitely my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's really hard for me. It's actually hard for me because both my parents were such workaholics. Like my mom's a Sagittarius and my dad's a Capricorn. So they were both workaholics, like always at work, like work came number one. So I had to like basically take care of, it was just me and my sister and then like
How
my
Capricorn moon of
grandparents.
you.
I know, fuck. It's just so
You didn't tell Tasha. Okay, Tasha, I'm I'm a Aquarius moon, Taurus sun, Pisces rising, and Nicole.
I'm an Aries sun, but I'm a Cap moon and rising.
Cap moon. That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Cap
Oh,
moon
does
and
it?
rising
Okay,
makes
love
sense.
that.
Yeah. No, in the context of what you just described about your parents, because the moon obviously describes, it describes a lot, but one of the things it describes is the condition of your mothering or your experience of the mother. And so when you think of Capricorn moon, that represents a mom that probably was like really hardworking and, may not necessarily have been the traditional nurturing. It's nurturing in a different way. It's nurturing by virtue of providing rather than the emotional nurturance that the moon really likes. Not to say it doesn't really like being in Capricorn, but just because it wants to be like cozy and comfy, rather than work hard.
Yeah, that my parents were just such workaholics, and like, so I just always remember them like just working all the time. But it's so funny because like whenever I think of like Capricorn energy, I always think of like Capricorn kind of like ages backwards. So I just feel like sometimes when people, like when we get older, then we're kind of experiencing the things later on in life that we didn't get to in a childhood. So now the roles have reversed where it's so weird. Where like my mom and dad now are so much more like emotionally available, and things that like I didn't get to do when I was a kid, I do with them now. Like when I go visit my parents, they're like, we want to take you and your sister out for ice cream. And it's such a weird thing to experience as an
that's so
adult, but I didn't get to
cute.
do that to them when I was like a kid. So now it's just like, it's just so weird. Like my parents are like, we want to take you out for ice cream. Let's have a family night. Let's go to the movies. And like sometimes if there's something that I really want to buy, my dad's like, I'll buy it for you. Like, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so nice. Like I'm experiencing it later. So yeah, that's Capricorn energy for you, man. It's just fucking
I'm just glad you got to experience it.
yeah, fun, right?
That's really cute.
We all need a childhood, no matter when it happens in life.
Yes. Yeah, that is the right way to put it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love what you said because Capricorns do like also age like fine wine. Like they really, in terms of they don't actually like look their age. Like they actually look really good when they're old, you know, like
Yeah.
really attractive actually.
Yeah.
Look
Or
at
they're like
Naomi
late
Campbell.
bloomers, like late bloomers.
Naomi
Yeah.
Campbell's uprising.
Oh, right?
And it's just like she's getting better with age.
Absolutely. I want that to be me.
You will. You're comedy, like, don't worry.
Okay. So I'm thinking, should we just go through like the planets, like each planet in the 10th house?
We can do that. I was gonna say, wanted to chat a little bit more about the midheaven.
Okay, yeah, let's do that because you found out some secrets.
Me?
Well, remember you were like, I found out something.
I found some things out.
Okay.
Yes, but I wanted to read a quote from the book first that I found that was really important. This is kind of what told me what or which parent was my primary parent that's represented in my 10th house, because he said, internalizing one's own experience of fathering, the father figure, whoever it may be, becomes an aspect of one's own mind. From this level comes the Freudian superego, which roughly corresponds to the conscience, the internal arbiter that decides between right and wrong. And that's how I knew it was my dad, because I told my sister this story a couple of weeks ago. But basically, long story short, I was in my bully era in the 7th grade, okay? You're first going through puberty. Now you have boobs and you think that you know everything. So,
oh my God.
I was going through that, and I was kind of mean at that age. So I got in trouble at school, and my homeroom teacher wrote all of our parents a letter and was like, you have to go home and show your parents this letter and get it signed, and then bring it back the next day so that I know that your parents know what you did. So I show my mom, my Leo mother, the letter. She looks at it and she's like, I'm not signing that, and goes away. And I was just like, well, I have to bring it back to school. She's like, okay, so make your dad sign it. And I was like, so I'm already scared. To me, I knew that he was going to be really disappointed in me, but I also didn't want him to be mad at me anyway. I wait to the very end of the night before I go to bed. I'm like, by the way, can you sign this one thing from school? I really need it for tomorrow. Thanks. So I leave it on the counter, and my dad literally 5 minutes later just yells from the bottom of the stairs for me to come downstairs. So I know I'm in trouble. I come downstairs, and he's just looking at me, and he was like, how could you? And I was like, what? Because I thought I was getting in trouble. I was like, hey, I brought the wooden spoon. Like, I'm ready for my licks. You know, like, am I going to be grounded? What's going on? And my dad was just like, I'm so disappointed in you. And he told me, my father, he's like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what kind of person would do this. I don't know if you're a good person. And I was shook, Nicole.
Oh.
I like cried myself to sleep.
Oh my God.
I was so
Oh my
upset.
God.
I was so sad. I was like, what do you mean? And also, I'm 12. This man is so dramatic. Everybody's a bully at some point. But anyway, I like cried myself to sleep. I was so upset that my dad was disappointed in me. I was like, am I grounded? Am I whatever? He's just like, go to bed. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. So I went to bed, and then for the next like 2 weeks, my dad didn't speak to me. would look at me with this look in his eyes and like shake his head. Like I was torn up inside. Like I think I went through my first depression.
Oh.
And literally ever since then, I feel like my dad is my subconscious moral compass because I really don't do anything that could be wrong without first internally considering, if my dad found out that I did this thing, what would he think of me?
Oh my God.
It really is ingrained into my psyche that, like, if I know that if I'm at an impasse and I know that I'm making a decision that could potentially be wrong, even if the outcome would be good for me, I really can't bring myself to do it if I think that it would disappoint my dad somehow.
Oh my God.
And
That does sound really intense. So your dad's like the angel on your shoulder.
basically, my mom's not the devil, but she's on the other side being like, girl, whatever, do what you want.
My mom is definitely the devil as her Sagittarius energy. Like my mom was always like, if anybody ever puts their hand on you and you come home and you tell me that you didn't hit them back, I'm beating your ass. She's like, you don't come home and tell me that you let somebody touch you and you didn't hit them back. So my mom always had my back, even if I was in the wrong. My mom stood behind me.
My mom's kind of like, whatever. Like, she'll defend me if it means saving face.
Yeah.
But my dad will fully be like, you did that? Like, in front of the people. I'm like, can you wait till we're...
Oh my God, that's so funny.
What about you? My mom is a Cancer, and I'm a Cancer too. So there's a lot there. And usually in family astrology, I believe Lynn Bell might have wrote about this in her book, Planetary Threads. But if you have similar placements as other people in your family, there is a need to differentiate. So, like, I know sometimes the moms, get really excited, like, oh my God, my daughter has the same sign, I'm like, yes. And they're not meant to be mini-me's also.
Ooh.
Which is sometimes challenging to articulate.
Yeah, you think so?
If I had a daughter, I'd be like, absolutely, Luini 2.0.
Do you share any placements with your parents, or?
I do. So my sister and I actually both have Aquarius moons, and so does our dad.
Oh.
And I don't know what his exact time of birth is, but they were just like, he was born at lunchtime, so sometime between like 11:30 and 12:30, which would either make him a Pisces rising, like the two of us, or an Aquarius rising. So if we do his chart and we put him like right in the middle of that at noon, he's an Aquarius rising, which honestly, if you've ever met my dad, makes a lot of sense. But if he's born a little bit earlier, he would be a Pisces rising, like my sister and I. And then my mom is a Leo with a Gemini moon. And Gemini is actually the sign that I have on my 4th house cusp, which is the cusp that everyone associates with your home and family and your mom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
With my sister, my mom's a Sagittarius, so my sister has a Sag moon, and then my dad's a Capricorn, so I have a Cap moon and rising. So everyone always says that my sister's just like my mom, and everybody says like I'm just like my dad, and I see it. So
and everybody's right.
No. Oh, shit. Oh my God.
It's super cool when that happens, because I feel like then she's supposed to learn and alchemize your mom's lessons, and you're supposed to learn and alchemize your dad's. And because siblings usually they divide the load, they divvy it up, and they're not really here also to accomplish like the same thing. So it's kind of interesting when there's like sibling rivalry or things like that, because inherently there shouldn't be, because you're really here to do different things. And it's almost like you're splitting the karma, or you're splitting like what you've come here to like learn, or what the family's purpose is, or the trauma. Both ways.
Yeah.
It's weird because I feel like because my sister and I both have similar placements to my dad, it would be the opposite, and we're kind of both carrying the load. But she definitely Like, there's definitely a divide between us where she's definitely a mommy's girl and I'm definitely a daddy's girl. But when I was getting my chart read a couple weeks ago, one of my friends, hi Julie, I know you're listening. This is your shout out for the episode. She had her baby shower a couple of weeks ago and she had an astrologer at the baby shower, which was super cool.
Oh, honestly, top tier choice.
Yeah, yeah. You're a baddie
So
for that, girl.
she had the astrologer there. I got a reading and it was a very interesting reading. Her name is Tara Green. We follow her on the Wine Astrology page. Because I'm shouting her out, I'm going to drop a link to her Instagram in our show notes as well because she's a great astrologer. And Tara is a Sagittarius. And we all know Sag women, I love. Sag men, no comment, NDA. Okay, moving on. So what she said as soon as she saw my chart is she's like, okay, you have Saturn conjoined Moon in your 12th house. I'm seeing a lot of father energy here. Are you a big daddy's girl? I was like, is it written all over my face? Like, what is this? Like, I am very much a daddy's girl. But she was like, yeah, like this usually when Saturn is a prominent placement in your chart, you have Saturn in a dignified position in the house that it likes. Like she's like very strong energy from your father just over your life in general. Mm-hmm. So I was like, interesting. Yeah, it makes sense because it's like, okay, then that means his moon is also conjoined to my Saturn, like in our synastry, right? So his influence is very much felt even now. Like I'm just like, okay, like my little Jiminy Cricket is my dad.
That's really beautiful. I think, well, actually, I'm not going to say anything else. I feel like it's beautiful and like that.
Do you have another epiphany? You don't want to share it?
No. The epiphanies must be shared.
Oh my gosh. People. It's, I mean, yes, I feel like it's just interesting, right? Like to think of your chart ruler being so, like that's the other layer there. Or not chart ruler, but ruler of your the moon, like the ruler, all like, you know what I mean? So there's just a lot of conversation there and there's like a natural ease. But how like I understand the 12th house also is, I'm sure, your astrologers probably mentioned this or something, but there's a need to like release those attachments.
I rebelled against my dad really hard at some point in my adolescence. So I definitely felt that.
Well, what I would say is it's almost like heed the dad up until your Saturn return. And then after the Saturn return, after 34, I should say, it should become a little more clear where the differentiation is. So something I think you said earlier was, even though I know this, like the outcome is probably better for me if I went with this, even if I have to still like figure out what my dad's going to say before that happens. So at a certain point, it becomes like an attachment that restricts. So it kind of becomes like a little bit of a self-undoing because the 12th house.
A Saturn placement in the 12th house is what you're saying.
Yeah, it helps you mature, but then at a certain point, the maturity has its own, it's almost like you got to build your own structure of consciousness.
I was like, God damn, now I gotta go through my second rebellion in my
I love how a good chunk of this episode is going to be like talking about our parents and like,
I apologize. That's generally not intentional energy I bring, but
oh my God, no.
I mentioned that in the email after I reached out to you. I was like, wait, I did not even associate that with this house, so I cannot wait to make that a part of the conversation. So don't apologize.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to say Stephen Forrest has a really beautiful analogy to involving the 4th house, almost as if like the 10th house is, yes, purpose, career, and whatnot, but it will really only blossom when you kind of tend to the soil in your 4th house, almost as if you can think about it like a plant growing upwards towards the sun, the highest point.
Oh, that's actually so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love hearing that.
The house is a sunflower.
Oh,
this is the high thoughts that we're here for.
Yes.
You guys are so funny.
Why?
I don't know. You just keep making me laugh.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
This whole episode is just all of us laughing all the
I
time.
know. I wish
It's
you
like
were here in my makeshift fucking
Studio.
studio, Tasha, because
oh
you're
my
my
god,
bootleg
no,
studio.
that'd be so fun. I was gonna say
I
it's like giggles and like parental stuff, right? Like
Yes.
casual,
well,
normal happy hour thing.
yeah, that's what we want the podcast to be at the end of the day. Like it's just like a bunch of girls just like sipping wine, talking about things that we love, which is like astrology and maybe some like family trauma. Like we just sprinkle
Mm-hmm.
that in there and like fuck boys and Love Island. Like that's what it's all about.
That's the vibe.
That is the vibe.
Yeah.
I love that. I know you wanted to talk about the 10th house, what the planets behave like when they're all there. I just have one more thing
Oh
to
my god,
say.
please share it with us.
I wanted to talk about the midheaven some more because, like I said, I personally will admit to this. I had both conflated until I started doing more reading, more research, and I realized that honestly, the midheaven literally, because it is just the highest point, highest exaltation in your birth chart, does not necessarily end up being in the same place in all charts. So it won't always be on your 10th house cusp. I had to learn that because I was conflating the two and I was believing that the 10th house and the midheaven were the same thing. They were same energy, same whatever. So when I was doing my notes, I wrote about, what the midheaven is, which we already kind of mentioned. It's also known as the medium coli. It's a significant point in the birth chart that represents the highest and most public point in your chart. We established that already.
Mm-hmm.
It is usually on the cusp of the 10th house, but not always. And what the midheaven can symbolize in your birth chart is things like we mentioned, your career aspirations, how you deal with authority figures, which is something that we're going to get into when we start talking about the signs conjoining the midheaven or signs traveling in or stationed in your 10th house on your birth chart. There can be your vocation, but while your midheaven is more symbolic of your aspirations and what your public facing life will be, the your midheaven and your 10th house differ because your 10th house is not necessarily what your aspirations are, but how you act in order to achieve them. Okay, because the energy there and the movements in there and the planets are basically what you're going to do to get you to where you want to go, which is whatever your goals are based usually on what the sign on your midheaven is. Okay. So it's the what and the how, essentially, is the difference between the midheaven and the 10th house.
That's so interesting because like when any person is just like looking up their birth chart, it's always going to say like
10th house cusp.
Yes.
And
so it's like
as the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like if you're looking at your birth chart, like how is like an astrologer, like anyone that's into astrology and then they're a beginner, like how are they going to look at this chart and be able to know that like
it's not always the same.
Yeah.
See, in my chart, it's very straightforward. I have very direct ascendant and descendant, midheaven and imam coli, like they're very straight across.
Yeah.
But not everyone's chart does that. Like yours doesn't.
Yeah,
because you have intercepted houses in your birth chart and Placidus, right?
Yeah.
So your midheaven is a little more skewed to the left. It's not like dead center at 12 o'clock.
Okay, then. So maybe my midheaven would be accurate and it would be Scorpio.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Tasha, do you want to kind of jump in here? Because this is as far as my expertise goes.
I was gonna say you guys are doing so good. Like I feel like it's actually I love the basics always, so it's always like really helpful to talk it through, as like a fundamental refresher. So like I'm enjoying listening to both of you talk. So I'm like, oh, I tapped in now. Okay. Let's see. Yes. So if the midheaven is, let's say like in your 9th house or your 11th house, right? Like it just adds to me like more color and flavor for how you like that sense of purpose, right? So 9th house maybe can even tie into more like publishing themes, like more so like, okay, I want to maybe be a lawyer type of energy because legal affairs do fall in the 9th house. You can think about like I want to write a book, or a known author, or I'm like a travel influencer, right? Like that's a pretty nice one for if you're thinking about being a travel influencer and you happen to see, oh wait a minute, my midheaven's in the ninth house. I'm not that crazy for thinking it. That's pretty cool. You should like kind of lean in. And then 11th house, right? Like I can also see that being someone who's a really good like public relations person, or someone that's like a good networker. So like if there's anything to do with networking, so whether it's like let's say even like matchmaking, right? Or whether it's someone who organizes conferences and like puts panels together, like that's a really cute placement for that. So yeah, I mean there's a lot to say about it, especially when it's colored by the other planets, but also the rulership is so important. Like that to me tells really like the whole story, or not the whole story, but a lot of it as well. And yes, last thing I'll say, 10th house, authority. So like there are three work houses in astrology. There's obviously the second house, which is a lot about your resources, your income stream, how you make your money. And then the sixth house is more your day-to-day work and what that looks like, your teams. But the 10th house really is, you're thinking about overall like career vocation, but you're also maybe thinking about like boss man at large or boss woman, whoever. So like you can also see things like, I am getting promoted in my career, right? Like that implies a social status switch because it implies higher social movement. So you'd see that in the 10th house as well.
Good to know.
Promotions.
I know.
Right.
For us,
Nicole's
we're-
like, where are they at though?
yeah. I don't know. It's just like I'm so excited to try to learn something from this too as well, because sometimes I don't know, like do you ever feel like you're like either biased or like underwhelmed by your birth chart? Do you ever feel that way? And I'm just like I'm not getting the
What?
answers that I want. Well, no, because like my midheaven as like my 10th
Mm.
house is in Scorpio, and I'm just
Mhm.
like I feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm trying so hard. I'm like my Capricorn moon, my rising is begging like what do we want to fucking do with our career? But then I feel like it's so hidden from me because it's in Scorpio, and I'm like what am I doing? So
What's your Mars?
my Mars is in Aquarius.
Your Mars is in Aquarius, and you're a Cap
First.
rising, second house. Okay, so like definitely tech, definitely collaborations, unorthodox ways of making money, potentially even. But I think podcasting is great. I think maybe like yeah, maybe something with AI, of course, since we're now in this new era, kind of maybe being a first mover. But with the SAG that you were talking about, the prominence of SAG, Cap Moon, Cap Rising, like that's someone that isn't looking to be managed. That's someone who's looking to manage and execute on a
And
dream and a vision. You know what I mean?
it's so
Yeah, that is
true.
very me. I have like a lot of like anytime I work somewhere, there's power struggles, and I feel so bad saying that. But I don't like when my boss tells me what to do. But you are my
What?
boss.
No.
But I don't like it. I don't like it. Watch your tone with me. Like,
You're like, how dare you
yeah, how
do
dare-
your job around
I
me?
know how to do my job. Don't tell me what to do. I know I'm already 2 steps ahead of you. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's my issue. I literally always beef with any job I've worked. I beef with a superior, and I always like I get out of there. But I feel like that's also part of the Scorpio process of like
Mhm.
Getting kicked
the
back.
death and the rebirth, and
Yeah.
trying to it's transformative and trying to learn from these
Mhm.
power struggles. But I'm just like, you guys are all pissing me off. Like, how do I make money? I just want to make money.
What is your? Do you know what your nodes are? Your South Node, North Node?
Let me check because I have it
I have
right.
your chart saved.
Oh my god, thank you. Can you pull it up for me?
Let
I
me
should have said I'm an evolutionary astrologer as like my fundamental, but I like do a lot of other like Hellenistic baked into what I do as well. But fundamentally an evolutionary astrologer. So I look at the nodes a lot.
Oh, amazing.
I love that. Let me pull up Nicole's chart. I'm just here listening when I should be doing things. Sorry.
So
I get distracted easily. So Nicole has her North Node in the 12th house, and then obviously the South Node in the 6th house.
Got you. Okay, so I love that because on some level, yeah, I do like the entrepreneurship stuff for you. It's almost as if you're learning how to say no to obligation, what people would traditionally say yes to, in the context of this is how I should be living my life. This is how I should internalize this. This is how I should approach stability. This is what I should be obligated to in the context of like work life balance, what I owe my friends, what I owe my boss, everything. And it also is the axis of unbalanced relationships. So, on some level, like you're kind of here to say no. So, if Capricorn, so
I love
you're.
that.
Nicole's like,
I've been saying
oh, I am acting out my destiny.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Like, she's like, say less or say no always.
But on some level, the Mars in Aquarius second house, you're cultivating the courage to also like.
Her first house is intercepted.
Oh, your first house is no,
Yeah.
your.
She has her Mars in her first house because Aquarius is intercepted in her first house after it starts in Capricorn. So she has a really late degree Cap rising at
Got you.
27
Okay.
degrees. And then, 25 degrees. And then, yeah, Aquarius is intercepted. So she has her Saturn and Mars in the first.
Saturn and Mars. Okay, so that naturally will see blooming again after like 34. So on some level, like if you feel like you're not figuring out where you're at yet, which I know
Mhm.
can with the Virgo and Cap can kind of feel like excruciating on some level. Know that you're really only going to get into it and really find that groove after 34. So almost think of 34 as year zero. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
You're
Okay.
like a baby again.
Oh my
Next year.
god. Okay.
It's gonna be like your first birthday all over again, and you can have
Yeah.
the party you always wanted.
Yeah.
Almost like this year you're getting clearer on what that is for you.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Yeah, because like I said,
Mhm.
they always say like caps are like always age backwards. So I'm just like, okay, so what's come
Yes.
on, guys, let's get it
So now
going.
you're fully a baby again.
Yeah.
Also, Tasha, she fully buried the lead because she has Pluto right on her midheaven.
Yes, yeah, I do feel right on it.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's naturally I have Pluto in my ascendant, so I can relate to some degree. It is going to invite a natural transformation of career always. It is always going to also reflect your personal growth. So your career and stuff will kind of correlate to also like the work that you're doing, but naturally career will always like be shifting. But you can kind of see how that works, right? Like almost like a lot of the work is about dad stuff, right? And that approval and the idea that how I alter and transform my relationship with that and mom too is how then that kind of opens up for me because then I'm allowing myself to earlier you said my parents are now buying me stuff, so I get to be kind of like a child. So now you get to kind of tap into that joy and play to inspire what that idea is. So you can see how there's like a reward for going through the hard work. So almost as if like something maybe to do with like things you liked as a kid to eat, to enjoy, how you define comfort as a kid could be interesting sources also of inspiration for yourself. It's naturally going to be more artistic, especially now with the Cap rising and Taurus fifth house element of that.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's so cute. Oh my god. I never realized that. Yeah, I do have a Taurus fifth house for fifth house, so I'm in there.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
That makes a lot of sense. I
It's so
don't have
cute.
any, right?
Yeah.
Besties. I don't have any planet in my 10th house, unfortunately. My 10th house is in Sag. I don't have any planets there, but I do have my North Node there. That's the only placement I have in the 10th house. Other than that,
Oh, lovely.
it's empty. She's tumbleweeding it through like
Oh.
nothing.
Well, where's your Jupiter?
Jupiter is in my in Placidus is in my 6th house in Virgo.
Okay. So you definitely have to find something routine that you love doing, but there's a lot about also being a mentor. And like
People do look up to me and I hate it.
no, it's like claiming that authority because you are you naturally do embody this inspirational type of quality, or aspirational, I should say. So people
Oh,
kind of want that as well. And you might be overcritical, but it's also the idea that you kind of set a standard that people would want to emulate. But it's also the idea that, like, it's almost like how you embody your lifestyle should really reflect that type of person. Or, like, ultimately, I don't want to say should, but Virgo energy. On some level, yeah, you are going to be a standard. And so something that's good with, again, like more managerial, more organizing. But again, like it's
I do
the,
that for work.
what do you
I
do?
just I'm a restaurant manager, so
Okay.
I take care of a lot of the administrative part of
Mm-hmm.
running the business. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of paperwork, hiring, training, that sort of thing. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
immediately I'm the go-to person when anybody new comes on and has questions and wants to know like how to do things and wants to know where do I put my stuff and what kind of uniform do I have to wear and like what are the standards for service and all of this stuff, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm. What are your
everybody
dreams?
everybody's so young.
Yeah.
What are my dreams? Honestly, this podcast is a part of my dream because
Mm-hmm.
I love everything about it. Like I do feel like I have a lot of a creative streak that I don't get to use on my day to day. And when I was younger, I used to write a lot and I was convinced I was going to be an author or a journalist. But I also have my Venus and my Sun in my second house. And I was like, journalist, LOL, I need to have a career that makes money. So kind of gave up on that dream. But
Mm-hmm.
I still do like to write. And I find that I don't have the time to do it a lot. The most that I write now is when I'm doing research and doing notes for this podcast, which
Mm-hmm.
for me kind of started as a fun thing because it was the pandemic. There was we weren't allowed to do anything. We were locked down, whatever, but I still wanted to have that connection in time with my best friend. And this is something that we talked about even before the pandemic happened. So we figured
Mm-hmm.
once we had the time, let's do it,
Mhm.
and we're doing it now. And it is still for fun because it's our way to kind of like get together every week and connect with people who also enjoy what we're talking about, like you. We're making new friends worldwide
Yeah.
basically because of this podcast, which I love. But I would love to be able to turn what we do into my career path because I do love meeting people. I do love
Mm-hmm.
discussing things that I'm interested in. People think I'm really reserved when they meet me for some reason, and then they get to know me and I don't shut up. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
we just need to find what we click on, and then we're friends. You know, if I don't feel that connection with somebody because we just don't have the same interests, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm a yapper, in case you guys haven't
Mm-hmm.
noticed.
I love that. I mean, honestly, I was gonna say if you have that, like Virgo in of itself is so communicative, so definitely some element of writing is always important. I'd almost like, I don't know, kind of encourage you to think about it actually, because when you think about the North Node in the 10th, it's yes, coming into a place of authority, but I guess now thinking about the dad conversation earlier, I do wonder in the back of your mind if that's also like a subconscious block that's preventing you from really leaning in to that other creative realm. Not to say you're not already,
Oh,
but
for sure. When I went to school, when I was going to university, and of course, parents wield their power because they're like, I'm going to pay the tuition. So I got into a creative writing program at the
mm,
University of Windsor here in Canada. And my dad was like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not paying for a creative writing degree because, like, what are you going to do with that? And what was I supposed to say? I was 18 and I had no money
Yeah.
because, you
Mhm.
know, like my part-time job money definitely went towards like getting my nails done and figuring out that I'm actually allergic to acrylics.
oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my god.
those kinds of lessons. So, yeah, I had no money saved. So, I was like, okay, whatever. I'll go do my communications degree because that's the next best thing. But
Mm,
yeah, I come from an African family, like immigrant African family. So, that means that primarily what your parents want you to do is you go into STEM because that's where the money is. We made sacrifices to come to this country, give you a better life, give you more opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. Now we expect you to follow through on that dream by like doing something where you are going to have a prestige career. You're going to be a doctor, lawyer, scientist, engineer, whatever, right? And I just never really felt like that was for me. I've always been very much, a right brained kind of person. So I've always been better, at the arts and history and anything creative, really. So definitely my rebellion against my father started when I started to realize that, I'm not going to be able to follow this career path because I have a lot of Aries in my chart. So I just really can't fake the funk for shit. Like, I'm really bad at just like going along to get along. I feel like my internal dialogue is like, do I crash out or not?
Oh my
Always.
God.
Because I really don't like having to do things that I don't want to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I think that's why you have a Venus and Sun, So, I mean, there's so many different ways to approach a chart. And one of my favorite ways is to ask, why do I have this? Right? Like, it's not necessarily.
I was like, why is my Venus, debilitated?
Oh no.
Of all the planets.
Why me?
That one?
Why?
That's how I felt when I found out I had Moon in Capricorn in the 12th house. I'm like, why? It's so sad and depressing.
I feel like for every chart you can find a little flaw or a pimple or whatever, right? But there's also the understanding that I chose all these beautiful things and I have the toolkit to kind of do with it what I need to. So I can either work with it in my best favor or I can kind of fall into it. And so in my experience, it's always a lot better to enact your free will when you're co-creating. So there's a lot about manifestation that people can kind of learn from it as well. So yeah.
Oh my God, we have an episode that's going to be about manifestation. I was just like, okay, like, how do I tap into my divine feminine with my Aries Venus?
Oh my God, I can't wait to talk about that. That's going to be a fun episode.
What is your degree, Weenie, of that Venus Aries?
It's
Do you know?
I do. Literally.
Was it I was going to say, how was the Venus retrograde this year? Earlier this year?
Honestly, Venus retrograde was fine. I didn't even realize it was going on until it was over. My Venus is 23 degrees Aries.
Ah, okay. That wouldn't have hit the degrees as much. So you were spared from some of the fire at the very least.
I was like, okay, like Saturn has been in my first house forever. I feel like I'm going to complain about this in every episode, but enough. Like I trust me, like I'm going through it as well. I'm happy that not everything is going to be hitting my shit at once. Okay? One at a time is more than enough. Thank you, universe. I know you hear me, so.
I'm just a girl.
Literally, I'm just a girl.
Leave me.
So yeah, Venus retrograde. Honestly, we had a Venus retrograde in 2020, and that one fucked me up.
Oh, shit.
This one was fine.
This one was chill. Next year's will be in Scorpio. Just a forecast.
Oh, I was like, that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Good luck. And Nicole, I know you wanted to talk about the planets in the 10th house. Do we want to start with the sun in the 12th house? I mean, not the 12th house, the 10th house. See, now I'm getting confused.
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
See, this is the point of the episode where you know that somebody, maybe me, had too much wine. Anyway.
Yeah. How are you doing over there, Tasha? Are you doing good? Did you finish your joint? Are you on to a second one?
No, I know. I need to like roll another. I'd roll just a baby one. Just
a baby one?
Because it's a pretty strong indica, so you know.
Oh, is that what you smoke? Indica? Okay.
Yeah. I have like a 10th house stellium in Placidus, so it's almost like I don't know how to not chill. So sometimes I just really do need like something to help not be so aggressively like everything I do has to be productive at any given moment.
Oh, wow. That
See,
sounds like a lot.
maybe why that's why I'm not productive.
Why?
It's like 10th house is chilling. Honestly, I have friends who have stelliums in like the upper quadrant of the birth chart, and I feel like just hearing their schedules, I'm just like eyes getting bugged out. Like it's just like, okay, so my friend who's a Capricorn sent me her calendar for the month. She's like, okay, like yellow stuff is social stuff and blue stuff is work stuff, so ignore that. But like where do you think we could like meet in the middle to hang out? Girl.
Yeah, I'm like, when do you have time for a nap? Because I'm such a napper. Like, I have to take naps.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Ironically.
yeah,
I highly recommend that with that moon Saturn
yeah,
combo in the 12th.
literally. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was born to nap. Like, seriously.
Yes.
Same girl. Oh my god.
Oh
See,
my
the birth chart does know you.
god.
I heard that as far as the 10th house goes, apparently the sun does really well in the 10th house.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have in my notes here, too. That the father, we were just obviously talking about our parents and trauma, but how the father is emphasized in this house as well, or maybe it could be the mother. Um, and it's about like developing that ego. The sun in the 10th house, I would say, would seek like public roles and positions. And they're strongly driven to succeed, and they have the potential to be an influential leader, I would say, with this placement. And the 10th house sun kind of craves that public recognition and
Hmm.
kind of like needs to be in charge. I don't know. How are we feeling? Would you want to add anything to that?
Yeah,
How?
from what I wrote in my numerous notes, basically that people who have the 10th house, a 10th house sun, tend to be super ambitious, but
Mm-hmm.
their ambition is more towards gaining status and power
Right.
versus material wealth. They like the idea that they're somebody who other people view as powerful, that they are somebody who has control, and they're usually very charismatic, natural born leaders, very well suited to be in positions of leadership. Apparently a lot of politicians have sun
Okay.
in the 10th
So this is a
placements.
politician.
Yes, it's something because they have a certain gravitas that the public resonates with. That
Ah.
makes, like, no matter what their sun sign is, makes people kind of take them seriously, essentially.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Wait, your
Donald Trump, for example.
okay? Yeah. So I was like,
My
your
mic, I
mic.
know. I didn't want to accidentally because there's like some sound going on in my apartment. It's New York, but
Oh.
Donald Trump has his
Yes, I
son
was
in the
waiting for
10.
that. I was just like, ha, who has a Gemini midheaven with their sun in the 10th house?
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I feel like I should have looked up any sort of celebrities or anybody that had the sun or the other planets in the 10th house. I didn't think of that. Maybe I'll think about that for another episode.
So this brings me to people with the moon in the 10th house. So the moon likes the fourth house. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it likes to reside. That's where its themes are better expressed. You know, your home, your family, your little private enclave, your internal self, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your fourth house. So the moon doesn't feel super comfortable in the 10th house per se. However, I read that the when somebody has their moon in the 10th house, it integrates their emotional nature, and it tends to lend itself to their sensitivities and emotions playing out in the public sphere. And immediately when I read that, I thought of Stevie Nicks. She has a
Oh.
Capricorn midheaven, 10th house moon.
Mm-hmm.
Her moon is right on her midheaven, and you know, she basically helped write one of the greatest breakup albums of all time, Rumors, while she was going through her breakup with Lindsey Buckingham. And I literally cannot think of anybody with a more potent or better example of a 10th house moon than Stevie Nicks, because her emotions transcend through all of her music. And
Yeah.
you and I know that because we're
Absolutely.
obsessed with her.
Yeah, we are.
But I was like, oh my God, like my favorite witch.
I know, she really is. She really is.
I was actually going to say it's so fascinating because I love the Stevie Nicks example. I think she like once said that she like very famously didn't want kids, right? And when you think about the moon, it's so maternal, and for someone to be like, that's something that's really part of the identity, so it can kind of work in different ways. It doesn't have to necessarily mean she's almost like the mother to all of us rather than just like mother to her children, or if
Absolutely.
she, mm-hmm.
I really cannot think of any modern female artist that hasn't been influenced by the following people, whether it's Cher, whether it's Whitney Houston, whether it's Stevie Nicks, whether it's Madonna or Janet Jackson. I feel like all elements of pop stars these days incorporate something that all of those women have done at some point previous. And we all know, like, all the witch bitches are channeling Stevie Nicks. Like, you cannot tell me otherwise.
Yeah, yeah.
She's an
She's just a witch.
influencer.
I was like, yes, I'm talking about you, Billie Eilish and Lana Del Rey.
Oh my god.
Yes. Like, we clocked you, don't worry.
And Taylor Swift, because
Yes,
they like have such a
loves
relationship.
Stevie Nicks. Yes, she
Oh,
does.
does she?
But I was like, okay, I haven't listened to any of Taylor's music in a really long time because I used to listen to her in high school and then I kind of fell off because Nicole knows I started listening to a lot of more retro music. So it's not that I don't listen to Taylor Swift specifically. I just don't listen to a lot of things that were pre like 1997
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I do know that they have a really close relationship, which I think is cute. She's and Miley Cyrus as well. Like she's definitely a mentor.
Mhm.
So she kind of poured her emotions into building her career, and that was what she nurtured. And then now she has a chance to mentor a new wave of artists, which I think also would be totally in line with what she would want to do
Mhm.
just based on her interviews and what her motivations are, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting placement too, because like when I think of like moon in the 10th house, I just think of somebody that seeks emotional satisfaction from their career, but like also the moon ebbs and flows. So like I also see somebody with this placement that like is maybe changing careers or changing directions quite often. I also read that this is the placement of public scandals. If you have your moon in the 10th house, public scandals.
Oh,
I was
God,
like,
thank
okay.
God.
I know.
None of that.
Yeah, none of that over here. But there could be some like, you know, indecisiveness when it comes to selecting like maybe their profession and their career, or that like there's like a lot of frequent career changes with that, or the decision making. But then also when I think of the moon, it's such a nurturing planet too. So if you have the moon in the 10th house, maybe you're somebody that's drawn to careers or like jobs where like you're able to like take care of others. You know what I mean? Like maybe healthcare professions, maybe someone that's like doing like counseling or teaching or like mentoring in some way. Yeah.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I'd say cooks too, or sorry, chefs, cooks,
Oh,
someone
Yes, chefs.
taking
They're gonna
care.
get touchy if you say that.
really?
Chefs are very temperamental.
Oh, fuck.
Very.
Well, I was
Actually, yes,
gonna
because
say,
we work in the industry and
yeah.
they're always the biggest cokeheads. I'm so sorry.
I
Like,
didn't mean like,
oh,
I think anybody who's on coke is a temperamental person.
oh my god, fuck. But you know,
Okay, maybe I should have said sensitive. They're very sensitive. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, Mercury in the 10th house kind of really enjoys mental stimulation. There are people who love gathering information as well. And it was funny because I made a little game that we can talk about when we talk about the midheaven and the signs. But basically I was just like, okay, like what are the most unique and like weirdly niche career choices that you would select for somebody who has midheaven in these signs. And when I was thinking of Mercury, Gemini, I was like, okay, why do I feel like Gemini midheaven would want to be like a talk show host? I'm thinking like Wendy Williams, spill the tea, collect intel and disperse.
Little busybody.
A professional busybody.
Yes.
Yes, honestly.
Yes, well, it's such a communicative energy, like for sure. You know what I mean? Like they definitely have like a knack for like writing, communication, and like languages too as well.
And they love a change of pace. Like
yes, they're not looking for like that Monday to Friday 9 to 5 desk job. I feel like they always need to be on the go. Like they need to be stimulated. Like this, to me, this is such a restless energy. So you know what I mean? They just got to keep doing something.
Mercury's definitely hyper, I think.
Yeah, definitely it is.
Yes.
Mars in the 10th house. Why do I feel like Mars in the 10th house is the boss that has like beef with everybody?
Yeah, they're fucking rude. When I think of this energy, you're fucking rude. Okay, if you have Mars in the 10th house, sure, you want to initiate things and you're very determined and
demanding.
And you're very demanding, but I feel like this is a type of energy where they will make sure that they get what they want and they don't give a fuck whose toes they step on. Like they're kind of ruthless. I don't know. I just feel like they're fucking mean. Like, yes, they're very driven, but I feel like they're also not liked by their community and the people that are around them because they're just like
subordinates are probably like, okay. Really?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Like they're just I don't know, I don't think they're very nice. Yeah, Tasha, feel free to like jump in anytime, please.
I was gonna
Yeah, she's dying over there.
No, she's like, I'm just like vibing, I'm just like, yeah, that's all good points. Well, because I also have Mars in my 10th, so
also
I'm
spill
like,
the tea, please.
It's a lot. I have Mars and Venus conjunct, so it's hard for me sometimes to disentangle actually. But in Virgo.
Oh, in Virgo. Aw, your Venus in Virgo like my mommy.
Brutal. But speaking of, fallen debilitated Venuses, we have that on lock.
Oh my god, so mine is hereditary. Thank you.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would consider myself like I'm a pretty good person to work with, but I do operate at a certain level. I think I like once said to someone like, listen, I'm not really here to play down. I'm here to play up. So please play up so I can play up so we can all play up together. Thank you very much.
Love that. That's the motto of Virgo season. Play up, bitch.
Tasha said, get with the winning team, huh?
Yes.
Get right or get left.
Oh my god, that's actually a good one.
I respect it.
Which would make it, I could be considered a bitch by some people. But if you're willing to rise to that challenge with me, it's like, yeah, we're in it together and we've like really worked through it and we've like crushed it. And it like we delivered a final product that is so sick. But I have Venus also. So it's like, oh my God, but like, can I really assert it like that? And so to me, it's almost like I'll play nice up until a certain point. And when I realize everything is super inefficient or just terrible, I'm like, no, everything is terrible and inefficient. So we're going to do this.
Nicole and I both have Mars in the 10th, in our first house. And I feel like because mine's in Pisces, hers is in Aquarius, but I feel like anytime with Mars, doesn't matter where you assert yourself, but anytime you assert yourself, somebody is going to take it the wrong way. And I got to the point where it's just like, okay, well, do you think I'm a bitch? And it's like, yes. It's like, well, you're right.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Are you going to level up and measure up or what?
Yeah. Whenever someone's like, oh, Nicole's a bitch, I'm like, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me something I don't
yes,
know.
and.
Yeah, like yes, and I'm like, I have a Capricorn moon. There's anything you say, I've read myself first. I read myself. So there's nothing that you can say that's gonna hurt my fucking feelings.
Honestly,
I've been there.
It's like criticizing a Virgo. It's like there's nothing you can tell a Virgo that they haven't already figured out.
He told himself that in the morning. They told us in the morning.
Like, they're not doing affirmations. They're reading themselves. They're like sloppy bitch, clean your house. You're like, oh, know. It's kind of messy in here. They're like, I know.
Oh my god, that is so funny and sad at the fucking same time.
Hey, they're very self-aware.
Yeah, we'll give them that.
So I'm glad that Tasha's team get right or get left, because there's nothing worse than, you know, trying to placate people and meet them at their level. I was like, whenever I try to meet somebody at their level, I'm always lowering my standards.
Yeah.
And it just ends up not working for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do I feel like I'm dumbing myself down?
Yeah, so
we're not doing that.
Like, it's time. It's Virgo season. It's time to level up. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, get those spreadsheets going. Get those goals. Get those goals. Get those alarms. Yeah, in your fucking calendar. Get it done.
No, the calendar, I definitely advocate for.
Yes.
Google Calendars saving lives. I respect. I put respect on Google Calendars. Google Sheets now.
Yeah. Maybe too much.
Yeah, questionable. No, the formulas is where you lose me.
Oh, it's true. I don't get why it's so different. I'm like, what is up here?
It's complicated. Okay. Anyway, so Venus, I was thinking about this. I was like, this is interesting, because obviously I obviously slipped down to the most basic thing I could think of. I was like, oh my god, like, is Venus in the 10th like fucking to get put on? Like, are you sleeping your way to the top?
Bitch, that's in my fucking nose. That is in my fucking nose. Literally. I'm sorry, 10th house Venus, they want to achieve that high social status.
By any means.
Literally. So they are the type where they're like, I'm not fucking hanging with the coworkers. I'm going where the boss is going. I'm going where the CEO is going. Like, they will make sure that they climb the ladder and they make those connections that they need so that they can financially benefit from them. But I'm like, I'm not fucking mad at it. Like, get your money, girl.
Honestly, here for it.
Yes, absolutely.
I was like, I didn't want to put it so crassly, but I'm at the point.
You're sleeping your way to the top.
I have no filter right now. This wine got me wide open. I was just like, Venus in the 10th is fucking for tracks.
Yeah. How did she get that raise? Don't fucking worry about it. She rolls up to work the next day in a Mercedes Benz. Oh. How did you get that? Don't worry about it.
I'm like, okay, respect.
Yeah.
Venus is powerful. Venus is just more than a pretty face, you know. Venus knows how to work what
really
she got.
Is that bitch.
It's a pretty face with a plan.
Yes.
That, really.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Venus is that one planet where it really can thrive wherever it is. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I think Venus thrives.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Literally, we were talking about astrocartography before the episode recording, or maybe early in the recording, I can't remember now. But if you travel to your Venus line, hello, like, you're going to get treated so, like, I mean, it obviously also depends on your chart, but in general, a Venus line, you know, you get like adoration, you maybe meet a boo, like, it's a lot of fun things.
Goes through France, and whenever I am in France, I'm literally beating them off with this stick. Like, men won't leave me alone in France. Yeah.
Pros and cons.
Russia, and I'm like, pause.
Oh, Russia. Pause that, Russia.
Pause.
That is fucking hilarious. But yeah, okay, so Venus in the 10th house, what else would I say? I'd say someone that's maybe this placement.
The path of least resistance, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, whereas Mars is trying to bulldoze through everything to get their way, I feel like Venus is
just wears a low cut top.
Venus is showing cleavage.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. For the men, I don't know, I guess you're making sure that you have those biceps and you're fucking on top of your Rogaine every day, like making sure that hairline is flourishing. Like, please. No, but yes, I would also say that they're maybe attracted to romantic partners who probably are established and successful in their career. Like, that's something that they'd probably be drawn to.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to elevate for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
They probably are a little more pragmatic about their partnerships with people. Like, they definitely are in a relationship where they're gaining something.
Yeah.
From this person.
I also found in my notes this individual could be popular with the public, but this is also another public scandal placement too as well.
Oh my god.
They say usually by a woman, a downfall brought by a woman.
Do we think that the CEO of whatever that company was that got caught?
Astronomer.
Yes. Do we think the astronomer CEO had like any planets touching his midheaven?
Oh my god, I'm surprised there's no like astrological deep diving about this.
I think I saw, but I wasn't like, I got off Twitter, I told you, so I didn't keep up with it.
I don't know, Tasha, do you have any tea?
I can't remember explicitly. I just remember it was during Mercury retrograde, but I remember there were deep dives. We don't know his time proper, so it'd be also hard to disentangle where it was playing out.
I bet she got Venus in the 10th house.
Yeah, I wonder. I would not be fucking surprised.
Her Venus in his 10th house.
Yep. Oh my god.
Or 12th, because it's an affair.
True.
Oh yes, that's a good one. Yeah.
It's almost like you can see that as Venus, as an example of Venus ruling the 12th house. So that would be Gemini rising, potentially, or Scorpio rising.
Not you exposing that Venus in the 12th is like the side chick.
It is the side chick placement.
Like if you got Venus in a man's 12th house,
yeah,
side chick.
Yeah,
crazy.
One of my fuck buddies had that placement.
Was his Venus in your 12th house? Or was your Venus in his 12th?
Oh, I think his he
just had a Venus in the 12th?
Yes, yeah, he was the side piece, and I felt, actually, no, I didn't feel bad for him. I was like, I don't know, he was, know your role, I'm sorry. No.
It's like very yearning, long lost yearning. So it's like very past lives. If you believe in like twin flames and stuff, like that's that kind of placement. So you get to say, sorry, this is the wrong lifetime for this. Next lifetime, mate. Catch you next lifetime.
Oh shit.
It can also be a lot of very deep spiritual lessons.
Who's next? Saturn. Finally, a planet that is not scandalous in the 10th house. So
yeah.
Allegedly, 10th house Saturn natives are usually very disciplined, dutiful. It's kind of a slow burn in order to achieve their goals, but they keep working on it. They're not afraid to put in the work, slow and steady. They tend to accomplish a lot, but again, Saturn rewards with time. So usually their bigger accomplishments come a little bit later down the line, but it's in their nature to kind of be accustomed to that. So they kind of just work at it until the big payoff.
They work with what they got. They know that there is going to be a bit of a delayed reward in life because if you have Saturn in the birth chart, we know that wherever Saturn is, that it loves to place obstacles and limitations in our paths and whatever it is that we're doing in our birth chart. So, you'll eventually get what you want to achieve, but you just got to wait a while, a little bit.
And
so
keep working on it.
Yeah, keep working on it. But the thing too is like sometimes I feel like they could be workaholics and they will work so hard for what they want. And then when they finally get it, they're like, fuck, I did all of this and then this is it. And then they just feel so lonely in the end because Saturn is such like a lonely energy. I don't know. I feel like when I think of Saturn, I think of like loneliness and like isolation and like working really hard for something that you want. And in the end, you're like, did I actually really want this?
That's how you can tell you're doing Saturn wrong.
Okay, that's a really good point, actually. Because I feel like a lot of people don't know how to work with Saturn in general.
Yeah. Saturn's like tough, right? But Saturn, it's almost like, here's the thing. Jupiter and Saturn, to me, they try to accomplish the same thing. They both try to expand your horizons with hope and perseverance, right? So it is, again, like when you think about manifestation, like it is not just about the thoughts and the hope and the belief, but it's also about the action you take as a function of that belief. So when you hear, the Saturn's a lot about resistance, it's, the idea of what is the consensus saying and how are you trying to go against the current, but it's also where you cultivate mastery over and ultimately do win that public approval if you work hard at it. So Saturn will feel restrictive if it especially feels like you're not doing a good enough job to actually like make this a thing yet. But it doesn't mean it's not valid. But it is going to imply, how much time do you really have? So that's where it's the idea of also, well, there are limitations and there are frustrations because I can't do everything. So it's about really understanding like the mountain you want to climb. And so if you're climbing the wrong mountain, you can climb it, sure. But by the time you get to the top, you're going to think, well, I've just like coped through life rather than actually feel like I've learned something through life.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's actually really good advice. It's a good way to explain Saturn too, because that energy can sometimes be like really heavy.
Kim Kardashian has Saturn in her 10th house, actually.
No
Really? And
way.
she went
Hmm.
through so much before she got her big break. She was cleaning closets and
For Paris
That is
assisting.
Hilton?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean, she had to have a sex tape in order for
well,
her
Oh
that's
career,
yeah.
because she
really.
was tired of cleaning closets. She's like, I need to
Hmm.
try something different.
Yes.
She's like, I'm done with this.
Oh my god.
I mean, technically, she does have Jupiter on her midheaven, like exact, and it's also her
Mhm.
chart ruler. So it's really like it's in Virgo, so it may not necessarily be the best. Like Jupiter in Virgo is not comfortable, but it's the idea that it's pushing you to work hard at something you want and not be
Yes.
overcritical. So, like, you hear her say, like, I don't know why everyone's not working. Like, you have to get up and work. I don't doubt her work ethic. I think she's an incredibly hard worker.
Yes.
But
I feel like people
yeah.
judge the package that she's in
For sure.
Mhm.
before they see what she's accomplished. And I think she has accomplished a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. So yeah, and then the next one. Wait. Before we move on,
Yeah.
are we happy with Saturn?
I'm happy with Saturn.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like it would be beneficial in the 10th.
I would also say uh if you're like going through your Saturn return and your Saturn is in the 10th house, especially,
Mhm.
like it will feel as if like this is kind of like a really like interesting career or purpose defining moment, right? So it really is going to beg the question, like, what are you really making a stand for? So if it can feel really urgent, because Saturn also wants to be important. It's the
Mm.
idea of like, what legacy am I leaving behind in this lifetime? And it doesn't have to be some grandiose ambition. It could also literally be like, I want to be a mom, not just literally. Like that's an amazing job to want to like ascribe to as well. But like if you want to be a mom, that's kind of, and that's what I want my legacy to be. That's also Saturn at work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Saturn the 10th, I think, has the patience, that stamina, that perseverance, that discipline, and that drive to get whatever it is that they put their mind to.
Hmm.
And I feel like they also have such an organized approach to as well to whatever their goals are. So, I mean, I feel like some people sometimes would think that this placement has a selfish streak, but I mean, all is fair when it comes to careers and goals and money. So,
You got to
I'm up.
figure out what's important to you.
It's so
Absolutely.
sad though. Like when I was going through the signs specifically and not so much the planets, I was really sad that, okay, sounded like Saturn in the 10th kind of has the same energy as Capricorn midheaven or Virgo midheaven, where it's just like very methodical, very organized in terms of getting their goals and achieving what they want to achieve. And I was like, oh, so this is a very like earth sign kind of energy where you're using discipline and organization to achieve your goals. But none of that said anything about Taurus. I was like, is Taurus the only earth sign that's not organized?
Oh, Taurus.
Food and aesthetics
Oh my god.
Tastemakers.
and money. True. I was like, they're too busy being Venusian to be organized, I
Yeah.
guess.
They got other people to do it for them.
Yeah.
That's true. And just piggybacking off of what you guys said about Saturn expanding with hard work, Jupiter seems to reward a little bit more freely.
Yeah. 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 It's quite effortless, really.
Yes, it feels like they kind of have a lucky streak. Even though Tasha mentioned maybe Jupiter's not super comfortable in Virgo, but the planet itself is auspicious. So we've seen
Hmm.
that for sure in Kim K's chart and her career.
Hmm.
Tasha, you also have Jupiter on your midheaven.
I
So is
do.
that the placement that's like directly like conjunct your midheaven, the
It
planet that's
is.
definitely on? Okay, so you can tell us a little
Yes.
bit more about that.
It's I would say Jupiter, I think Sam Reynolds says this. It's an effort matcher or a match funder. So it rewards based on effort. So if you've done nothing, it's not going to give you anything. But if you've actually put in a little something, even if it's a little bit, right? Like it'll give you everything. So there's a lot about taking that first step because you believe in something. But confidence is a huge part of it. Jupiter responds to confidence. How confident are you feeling? How lucky are you feeling? So people can say, "Oh, she's lucky," but are you actually feeling lucky? Because that's how you like keep attracting that sense of abundance, or magnetizing opportunity. But Jupiter really can kind of, bring blessings or blessings in disguise. And that's also really important because it's here to magnify experience at the end of the day and to expand your life. So it can bring more money, of course. Jupiter is the king of the gods, and there's a lot about generosity. But Jupiter can also bring when it rains, it pours if stuff isn't out of alignment and it's not consistent with what you fundamentally believe. So there's a lot to work with Jupiter there. But confidence is always going to be at the heart of it.
Wow. Okay, so that's the key to it then.
Well, fake it till you make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Repeat it till you believe it.
Yes.
I'm very
Also, there can be this tendency to like, I am better than everyone else. But for what it's worth, if I'm prescribing by my own logic of why do I have this, I'm actually here to learn how to lead. I'm here to be in charge. And some people might not like that. And that's also
Mhm.
part of learning that it's okay because you're trying to back yourself as well. And there's a lot. And again,
Yeah.
your chart is so individual. These are kind of just like cookbook things, of course, but aspects to Jupiter are important too at determining that confidence. What's restricting your confidence? What's enabling it? What are you
Mhm.
taking for granted? For like, oh, that's nothing, but it's like, no, that is actually something, and you should capitalize on it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a good key for like Jupiter because it's the planet of luck and abundance. So I feel like when we think of Jupiter, we automatically assume like there's no work that has been done. You
Mm-hmm.
just show up and everything just falls on your lap for you because you have that luck. But
Mm-hmm.
like you were saying, like I like how you said, like if you're showing up with that confidence and you believe in yourself, then like you can manifest what it is that you want and what you're looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not just like waking up in the morning and shit just landing on your lap. Like sometimes there is a little bit of work that has to be done, even if it's just
Mm-hmm.
confidence. Like just
Mm-hmm.
believing in yourself sometimes is enough, you know?
Oh, that's hard work,
That
honestly.
is,
Like
yeah.
cultivating the mindset because that is really like what prevents you from taking action. Like
Yeah.
that is literally the thing blocking you from saying, "Yeah, I could be like this badass like I don't know, creative or writer or whatever," right? And what's really preventing me from that action is confidence. And Jupiter is also a lot about judgment, internal judgment, like who's my internal inner judge? What's my inner judge saying about
Mhm.
this, right? So they also feed off each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Neptune's next.
Oh my god, okay, Neptune. Let's see where you are.
Neptune is such an elusive planet. Like, I really never know how to explain its energy to people.
Perfect. As Neptune would want, honestly.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like, I don't want to be perceived, so you really don't need to say anything about me. Thank you. But I think that Neptune, a lot of the time, is known as the planet of mysticism, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
in modern astrology, we associate it with Pisces. Pisces is seen as a very spiritual sign.
Yeah.
And I feel like people who have Neptune in the 10th house a lot of the time are drawn to other sorts of alternative spirituality, whether it's tarot or other energy work, whether they're interested in the occult. They're kind
Mm-hmm.
of witchy.
Yeah, definitely. They're very intuitive and they're spiritual. And then, like, some of them are able to really, like, tap into that and, like, make some careers. I feel like Neptune in the 10th house is somewhat unconventional because it's, like, again, like you said, like, it's a planet of illusion. Like, when I think of illusion, I'm thinking of those rose colored glasses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's funny.
absolutely.
Something I was gonna say is it's funny because when you, as you said that, intuitive and unconventional, I started thinking of Uranus as well, and
Mm-hmm.
it just made me laugh because I remembered how Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus and Sailor Moon were girlfriends,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
and they were, like two peas in a pod, and I feel like both of those planets, because they are outer planets, maybe we don't have as much of a focus on them, or we don't pay attention on how they impact our charts and when they're in transit as much as other planets. But the fact that they're linked in that way in that show, I think obviously is very intentional, but their energy as well, because I feel like unconventional is definitely the energy that you use to speak about Uranus, kind of rebellious. It's just that they have different goals, right? Like Uranus is very eccentric and it's trying to propel us forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Aquarius. You know,
Yeah.
that's the planet that it rules over. That's the kind of energy it embodies. Like you are trying to do your best to move mankind, humankind, person kind forward and into the future. Whereas Neptune is trying to make sure that you take care of what's inside, you know, your
Yeah.
subconscious and
Yes.
leveling yourself internally before you can apply yourself externally the way that Uranus wants you to put your energy. So
Yeah.
I love having those two planets kind of paired together, and I love that they do tend to travel through the birth chart, you know, kind of in tandem. Because
Yeah.
if you look at any birth chart, they're usually in the same sign and they're conjoining each other as they move through people's birth charts, which I think is super cute.
Oh my gosh, I love that Sailor Moon brought that epiphany for you.
Yeah, right?
I think especially with like the Pluto and Capricorn generation, or, you know, not the Pluto. Yeah, I guess it's the Uranus and Neptune and Capricorn, excuse me, generation. And that's like like 80, mid 80s to like mid 90s, basically. Everyone had like Uranus and Neptune, like very close like that. And then now Uranus.
Yes,
Exactly.
Uranus doing its own
Exactly.
thing.
And then now Uranus, actually this weekend that we're recording, is about to station retrograde in Gemini, and it's about to perfect its sextile to Neptune in Aries. So this is actually going to be the first time, or that they're both going to be, or at least Uranus retrograde also applying to the sextile. So this is going to be a big weekend fundamentally. Like there's going to be potentially like a lot of almost like perspective breakthroughs even, but with the intention of propelling forward, as you said. So just apply that whole metaphor to the meaning you take out of this weekend.
And it's eclipse weekend. Like, why are all these things happening at the same
Yeah.
time?
Yeah. There's a lot happening.
There is a lot happening. Well, we're in a shifting world order, so it makes sense that everything, therefore, from the if you believe as below, so above, there is a sense of everything is getting rebuilt and rebirthed into a new paradigm. So that's a lot of adjustment, but even individually as well, we're all kind of awakening to different things that are calling us. Maybe before, you know, it's the idea that the 9 to 5, leaving the 9 to 5 wouldn't have seemed so far-fetched, but now becomes a lot more tangible. The idea of, oh, I've done this for so long, but I want something new. I want to change the way I completely approach my life. Like that's, you know, if you are a numerologist, this is a 9 year, so there is a lot about shedding skin and transformation. It is very scorpionic. And then if you are, you know, in a United States, it's the Pluto return of the US, it's the Uranus return. So there's a lot about true reckoning, and you kind of see that it mirrored in the country and the events in the country as well.
I've never thought about the Pluto return. How often does that? I don't remember how often Pluto changes planets
Oh,
to be
fuck.
having a Pluto
Signs.
return.
Pluto returns 250 years, so it usually correlates to the fall, like, you know, the empire falling timeline, 250
Yes.
years.
Oh my God. It
Mhm.
really is the Roman Empire.
Oh, fuck.
Mhm.
But in the
Fuck.
US.
Correct. Yes, it is. It is kind of a surreal time to have chosen to be born. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my
I
god.
choose this. It was forced on me.
Yeah.
And Pluto's the last planet.
Oh
So
my
this is a
god.
perfect segue.
Mhm.
Pluto in the 10th, like Nicole has.
Oh my god.
Nicole's here to burn all the professional bridges. I'm kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Deal with all the power struggles. Well, I mean, when we think of like Pluto in the 10th house, a lot of like my astrology books would always say like Pluto seeks to uncover the unhidden. So like somebody that has
Mhm.
Pluto in the 10th is would excel in a position where they're doing a lot of research. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for me too personally, like I'm very somebody that like works in the background. We
Mm-hmm.
we like for this podcast to be successful and just in general, like I feel like we should have a TikTok. But the fact that I have to fucking put my face on the internet fucking freaks me the hell out. Like, I'm like, really? Like, can I just not be a faceless entity, like this little ghost, like this voice on this podcast, and just leave it at that? But no, we have to have a TikTok, and it scares the shit out of me.
But what about an AI avatar?
I'm excited for the TikTok.
Yeah, you are excited. I'm nervous. I just want to be like a little ghost in the background.
That's an option, Nicole. If you want to have an AI avatar and you just like talk through that, that's fine. My face will be out there. I'd be like, you bitches will be seeing me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Venus energy is coming through. Yes, bitch, I'm here.
Yes.
Yes. See, maybe I should try to channel that and just like try to like break out of this mold a little bit. Like, you know, I don't know.
If it's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true. Well, for the podcast, yeah, I think it is.
Okay, then let's do it.
But yeah, other than that, also they say that like this is a very transformative placement, which, you know, we kind of did Pluto first, eh? Before we
Yes, because we're looking at
yes. Oh my God. Yeah. So Pluto's like very transformative when it comes to their career and their job. Obviously, we kind of went over like the power struggles that we deal with our bosses.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, you bitches, don't tell me shit. Don't get in my face. Don't tell me what to do. I know what to do, period. But yes, also, this is also the placement of betrayal. So they say that this is a lot of betrayal that can kind of happen in your career in the workplace. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had time to look at any celebrities or scandals.
I love that you love the scandals.
Yeah, anytime I see a placement as a scandal, I'm like, oh,
Scandal. Well, Kim Kardashian also has Pluto in her 10th. So
oh wow.
She's a really loaded 10th, yeah.
Yeah, girl, like that 10th house is bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
Explains that she rose to fame through controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh my God, poor Kim went through it, man.
But I feel like she also has a really auspicious chart. You know, when people talk about celeb astrology, they always kind of mention her and Kylie's charts as being very emblematic of their place in the world and kind of like the pop culture zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that Kim has Jupiter on the angle, so like if you are a quadrant house person, Placidus, Jupiter as her chart ruler and the ruler of her as of her moon as well, like that on the midheaven, it's pretty lit up for success. It's primed for success. And there's a lot in her chart actually about turning feeling like an outsider into owning who you are. And she really has. And regardless of how you might think of her, it's actually, she is living to her chart. And you can push her off course, but she does, you know, I guess she has her Venus in her 9th, so she is like lawyer, right? And she's got Libra in the 10th as well. So that's a sign that's often associated with like civics and social justice. So her studying to be a lawyer. But also interesting when you think about what we talked about earlier. Rob Kardashian was obviously that really famous lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dad influence.
Mm-hmm. The legacy, Saturn.
Libra, 9th house, lawyer dad. She's going to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that she was a lawyer. I totally, that slipped my mind.
I think she's still kind of studying to do the baby bar, or maybe she did it. Okay, so we were going to do the midheaven through all of the signs, but I feel like we're all kind of like crashing a little bit.
Yeah.
No, like, you know, the line gets to you, you know, so kind of ready to move into the next phase because I feel like we kind of talked about everything anyway when we had our earlier discussions. I literally just wrote, throwing it out there, somebody who has a midheaven in Gemini, like we said, we're like investigative journalist, talk show host.
Yeah.
Leo, I was like, Leo midheaven, king or queen?
Yeah, that works too.
Monarch. Virgo midheavens. analytics, talent management. They don't like to be in the spotlight. So, but they have really good organizational skills. They'd probably even make a really good personal assistant.
Oh my god,
Right?
yeah.
I was like,
Chief of
Taurus.
staff. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, in the White House. It was like, ooh,
Oh, the White House.
who would be a good vice president? I don't know, probably like a Libra midheaven or something.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Someone diplomatic.
Absolutely.
For Scorpio midheaven, I put ghostwriter.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you have for 10th house Aries?
Firefighter.
Yes, I was like athlete, any kind of fitness instructor.
Yes.
Self-employed because they cannot deal with authority figures.
Yes. How about Taurus? I would say something that's
like banker.
Oh, that's so cute.
Accountant,
I don't know, like maybe something like with like artistry, like interior decorating, maybe or something.
Interior design.
Yeah.
Farming.
Good. Yes, farming. I was gonna say even like this could be Cancer midheaven or Taurus midheaven, but anything where they have to kind of nurture something to grow. So a gardener.
Oh my god, yes.
Florist.
Oh, that's so pretty. Florist.
Anything where they have to take care of something and like get to like
wedding planner.
Ooh, yes.
I like that one.
Oh my god, no, being a wedding planner so stressful.
Yeah.
I could never. And having to be there on the day of, girl.
Yeah. Ugh.
For you, oh yeah, I was like, what is a Scorpio midheaven? I don't know, maybe like forensic psychologist.
I literally you just said that. Yeah, just any sort of like anything in the shadows, anything that's
Sag midheaven. It's like a teacher, but like a fun one.
Yeah, like a spiritual teacher, like an astrology teacher, like that. Like right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The only one where I couldn't think of anything fun was a Capricorn midheaven.
Oh god, that's so on brand for them.
Sorry, I feel like they could do any job really well. It just depends on what their goals are.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have any ideas, Tasha?
Office manager.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Honestly, politics for Capricorn midheaven would be
so, wow.
Yeah, like prime minister energy, really. Yeah, Capricorn. That's so interesting. I think, does Megan Fox have her sun in the 4th house?
Megan Fox has her
Leo rising, so I don't think so.
Really? I have Capricorn rising.
No, she's a Cap rising.
Yes, she does have her sun in the 4th house, and she also has.
Do you think she's a spiritual grifter?
No, but she is definitely very divine feminine coded.
She definitely is. Her birth chart was like when I took a peek at it, because she has also her Mars in Capricorn, and it's conjunct her ascendant.
Yes.
So when I think of Mars, I do think of like the planet of like lust and like assertion and like that sexual energy. And I feel like Megan Fox just has this like this sex bomb, like this sexual aura to her. And it's just
baddie vibes.
She does. And like there was like a time where like everyone was obsessed with Megan Fox. Like she did Transformers, she did Jennifer's Body, she had also done Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
I thought she was so cute in that.
And everyone's like, oh my god, she's so hot, blah blah blah. And then when you're watching these interviews with her, I'm like, oh my god, she's actually very smart and sharp.
She always really rebelled against that, and
this fantasy that she sold. Yes.
I feel like when you have placements that where you are constantly in the public eye and people are putting you on a pedestal for something that you maybe don't want to be known by, I feel like if you're somebody like her who seems to naturally embody those things without trying, when you try to go against it is kind of when things start to fall apart. So we know her career really halted after the whole Michael Bay incident where she kind of called him out for objectifying her. Even though everyone kind of knows that like in Hollywood, that's part of the course if you're trying to be an actress and have success in a film career, right? But she really rejected that, and it's one of those scenarios where it's like, I'm not trying to tell you to fake it to make it, but girl, like you had it in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
With the birth chart, like you were born to be hot, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Pretty
was.
is a curse sometimes, I guess.
It has.
Oh,
I
I
feel for
know.
her because you can tell because it is shitty to be somebody. She is. If you've listened to her old interviews, I feel like she kind of lost a couple of brain cells when she got with MGK, but
Oh,
whatever. But
I think they're
prior
like
to that,
kind of back-ish or something.
they
yeah.
broke up.
I heard that they're back together.
No, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
actually, no. I don't want to. I don't want to be negative because they have a kid now. Maybe it's for the best if they try to work through things. I don't know if I believe in sun sign pairings. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Maybe it's just me, but I wouldn't want to date another Taurus and watch because I said I didn't want to date a beep before, and then right after that episode, I ended up in a relationship with one. So now
Oh
I feel like I'm speaking things into the universe.
my.
It's interesting because there's almost like it is almost like it's similar to like the parent thing, right? Like we both get each other, but we're also still trying to do two different things. So there's really like a huge onus on keeping each other like in check. But you can get along for sure. But like everything in the chart, speaks to compatibility, but it's just how much you want to really work at it.
Yeah.
Her 10th house is also in Scorpio.
Like you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's giving Nicole a
That
first house
transformative
Mars.
rebirth, betrayal, especially when MGK fucking cheated on her. Like, I'm like, really? Megan Fox?
So, I think Tasha's favorite celeb chart was Kim K.
Is it really?
I think it's just she has a really good one to
Yeah.
like point things out to, and she just knows like I feel like everyone knows like stuff about her, even if you don't want to know stuff about her. So it's ubiquitous
By
enough.
force.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good chart in a way because it's showing you how debilitated planets can overcome and like how planetary condition plays into your success as well or lack thereof. Because again, she does have the fallen Venus and fallen Jupiter cradling the midheaven and Saturn, right? So in theory, it's good, but it's like a good and but. And so I think her chart is complex. It's hilarious because I don't care about them in general otherwise, but I find that particular chart fascinating.
Does she have Neptune in her first house?
Kim K, hold on. She has Neptune in her first. She's a Sag rising, Neptune in Sag.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I heard
Yes.
that's a very popular celeb placement where they have Neptune in the
Yes.
first house.
Yes, it's a lot fame.
Steven
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Glamour.
I heard body dysmorphia actually that placement can lead to
Really?
body dysmorphia. Yeah.
I would say yes, because there's a sense of in the first house, Neptune, you don't know what your body looks like because it's boundaryless, right? In theory, the first is supposed to provide some sense of perspective, but with Neptune there's a lot about the projection and the collective, especially blurring boundaries. And Kim also has Venus in Virgo, so she kind of has two pieces of the chart that speak to that body dysmorphia and how she's chosen to work with it and like come back and own it as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
She's really made her birth chart work for her, actually, by
Right?
the sounds of
Mm-hmm.
it.
Oh my god. Kim K, give birth chart lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always trying to find a new hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This should be it. Astrology should be it for her.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet she does have an astrologer. I remember reading an article, like I think she has a psychic, she has an astrologer, she like they all consult their peoples
Smart
basically.
girl. That's all I
Yeah.
can say.
I wish I had that money. I would have all of them. Yeah. I would.
Right? It's like on retainer. I
Yeah.
need my astrologer on retainer like a lawyer.
Yeah.
Man, Judge, this was not her fault. She was in her Saturn retrograde, Saturn return.
Like Saturn return was hitting her Mercury, which we know affects vehicles. Judge, we plead not guilty by reason of Saturn return.
Imagine, that would be fucking hilarious. You know whose birth chart I wish I looked into was Julia Fox. 'Cause as a celebrity, I actually love her.
She's got prominent Aquarius from
Yeah.
what I remember.
Yes, she's like the most Aquarius person.
Taurus as well.
I was like,
Oh, I was
Julia
not
Fox.
expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a baddie.
I did not click. Taurus did not click for me for her. Like Aquarius for sure.
It makes sense because again, Taurus was like ruled by Venus, so anything like fashion, creativity, like that should be naturally like baked in. I mean, that's like another side of Taurus, but she's also like big on sustainability, which I think Aquarius and Taurus together makes a lot of sense.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for joining us, Tasha. We wanted you to plug everything that you have going on right now. Obviously, we will also add them to our show notes, but tell us where we can find you.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. That was such a fun conversation. You can find me on social media. I'm on IG. I'm on, I guess YouTube's considered that too, TikTok, but they're all at the Pop Astrologist. I do, pop culture deep dives, but there's a lot about like transit breakdowns. So I try to make pop culture pretty educational and accessible through an astrological lens. And let's see, I also do client work. I do very plutonic type of conversations. So I guess you can kind of get a flavor for how I kind of talk in a session, just based on our conversation today. So if you're interested in that, I do have a booking site, or you can go to my website at agentofpluto.com. I am actually gearing up to launch a new offering and like a slightly zhuzhed up website next week. So this will be perfect timing. So yeah, and if you are a listener of Wine Astrology, you should know that I also have like a special discount in theory if you did want to book a session. So that would be like $50 off your session. So just, in the show notes mention, or not in the show notes, in the form, just mention that you've heard this through Wine Astrology, and happy to honor that.
Oh,
amazing. Oh my god, you're so kind. Wine Astrology listeners, you heard it here first.
Yes.
Okay, get your $50 off of Tasha's readings when you submit through the form. Okay, don't worry, Nicole and I will do all the hard work for you and link you everything in the show notes. So all you got to do is click the links and follow through.
Yeah,
all right?
We're going to make it easy for you.
Obviously, we've heard not only is Tasha super funny, also super knowledgeable, which is the most important thing that you need to be looking for in an astrologer. So
I appreciate that.
Of course. This is a little taste of what you could get in your session, just, about other people that you may or may not really care about.
Other than that, thank you again so much, Tasha, for being on our show. You're actually so amazing. You're so funny and cute and sweet. And you're just like, I felt like you were in the room here with us. And even though you aren't, it makes me wish that you were. I feel like we would all just get along. You have amazing like energy and personality.
Oh, I appreciate that. Soon coming, I'm sure. Speaking out into the eclipse cauldron, you never know what it brings.
This is a link up that was meant to happen.
Yes.
So this was kind of like the pregame, and then we'll figure out how to make it happen in real time within the next couple of months.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks again so much for coming on our show. To all our Astro baddies and daddies, thank you for tuning into today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it and had as much fun as we did with Tasha. Of course, make sure you check out Tasha's page at agent.of.pluto. Or
at the Pop Astrologist.
Exactly. Make sure you check her out and show her some love. And as always, guys, stay tipsy.
We
what?
Need to plug our stuff too.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Guys, we didn't even drink the full bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Okay? So
this wine was great.
Anyway, you guys know where to find us. We are on any of your podcast apps, primarily Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you can also check us out on Instagram. We drop all of our guest info and tea on there. We also are, and I promise, I'm saying this out loud in this episode, we will have our TikTok up and running, period. That's my Virgo season resolution. Okay. Nicole's going to find a way to make her AI avatar work, but I'll be posting in the meantime, probably kind of following the same vein as Tasha is, because I have a lot to say about Love Island and my observations of these people's birth charts and what's going on there. So I need to share with somebody, because I keep getting like dead-eyed by my sister who's not super into astrology, and it's just like, I was like, did you know so-and-so has a this and this rising? And she's like, okay.
Oh.
So I need to tell you guys all about it. All right. So you can find us on TikTok at Wine Astrology Pod. I will obviously be linking all of that in our Instagram. If you're not already following us, give us a follow at Wine Astrology. Make sure that you check Tasha out. She'll be prevalent on our page. We'll be posting all of the links to her Instagram, her website, and the form that you need to submit. Mention Wine Astrology for the discount on your reading. And yeah, guys, like Nicole said, stay tipsy, and we will see you next week with another episode and another amazing guest.
See you then.